until you really know.
And welcome back to In the Cage with Bards here on Nextsportstar.com. And joining us now, I have the privilege of speaking to one of the most inspirational athletes in the sport today, the current XFC lightweight champion, the Notorious one himself, Nick Newell joins the program. How are you doing today, Nick?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's an honor and a privilege to speak to you. You've just got an incredible story, one of just determination and perseverance and all the things that we synonymize with the sport of mixed martial arts. So it's a real pleasure to have you on today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on.
Awesome. All right. We got that out of the way. And for those that don't know, you were born with a congenital amputation on your left arm. What was that like growing up for you? Not even just in athletics, but just socially even.
Kids had their comments and their things. Obviously, I got made fun of some for it, but I was raised kind of tough, and I was never babied as a kid. So, I learned from a young age to not put up with anyone's garbage, and I surrounded myself by some really good friends that I'm still friends with today. So, I think I had a head start on anyone that would try to bring me down. But obviously, I went through some stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you took up wrestling in high school. What motivated you to pursue that?
I wanted to be Bret the Hitman Hart.
Nice, fellow Canadian, Bret Hart.
Yeah, I liked pro wrestling, and one of my friends was like, "Yo, I'm gonna join the wrestling team," and I was like, "Bro, I'm in." And it just kind of started off as something I really knew nothing about going into, and I ended up falling in love with it.
Yeah, was it obviously difficult for you at first, given the lack of use of the arm?
Yeah, I wouldn't know if that was the reason why. I'm sure, it definitely didn't make things any easier for me, but I was small. I weighed about 97 pounds. I wrestled 103 pounds. I was a freshman, never wrestled before, and it was tough, and, luckily I've always had good spirit, and I even though I was only 2-22 my first year, I just kept working hard, and it was all winning records from there on out.
Given that, it was kind of a harsh introduction going 2-22 your first year out, were there ever times that you maybe wanted to give it up and try something else?
No, I'm not a quitter.
Yeah.
Well, actually, after my first practice, I came home, I was like crying. I was like, "Oh, this is so hard." And my mom's like, I was like, "I'm going to quit." And she's like, "You can't quit something because it's hard." It's like, you made a commitment, you have to finish out the season. If you don't like it after the season, you don't have to do it next year. But, you made a promise to the team, and you have to, And I've always been kind of a mama's boy, so she's a boss, and I listened to her, and it just kind of ended up escalating to now I've won a world championship in mixed martial arts.
Yeah. And after the high school, obviously, you continue to excel in collegiate wrestling. You mentioned having that drive and that determination. Do you feel like you have to work harder than the average athlete to be able to succeed?
I don't know, because I don't know what it's like to have two hands. There's a lot more figuring things out for me than other people, but regardless of whether you have one hand, two hands, and no hands, you should always work your hardest if you want anything in life. That's the way I look at it. If you really want something bad enough, you'll work your hardest regardless. So, I kind of go into this with everything I got, and it would be the same way if I had two hands. So.
And you mentioned that Bret Hart was your inspiration for getting involved in amateur wrestling. Did you ever learn how to pull off the sharpshooter?
I think I got a Boston Crab one time. I went for one when I was a freshman, one of the two matches I won. But, you're not allowed to do submissions, but for some reason I ended up in one. But, I got I'd say I'm more of a figure four leg lock guy myself.
There you go. So go to Ric Flair instead of Bret Hart then, right?
Yeah, the Nature Boy.
Woo! Well, there you go. Now, what was it then that introduced you to the sport of mixed martial arts?
I saw it on TV.
Yeah, just watching TV and you happened to catch it, or?
Yeah. Well, my roommates in college used to watch Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
When Monday Night Raw was on Spike, and then it was the lead-in to the Ultimate Fighter, and then we watched Ultimate Fighter afterwards, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. I was like, I'd like to learn how to do that. So I found somewhere to learn how to do that.
So it was as simple as tuning into the Ultimate Fighter and just being hooked by the athleticism, the drama, whatever it was, and just saying, I want this, and then you went and got it.
Yeah, it wasn't the drama or how the guys were. I mean, it's cool getting to see them as people. I really like that, but the thing about it is that I did it because it looked like something that I would like to try. You know, I didn't go in and I was like, oh, I'm going to be a fighter. I was like, I'm going to learn how to fight because it'd just be nice to know how to fight and, you know, give me something to do after I'm done wrestling.
Mm-hmm. And what was the reaction from your teammates when you started training with them? Was there any resistance at all, or were you accepted right away?
No, my coach, I just kind of came in and he's like, okay, you want to do class? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. and really didn't treat me any different or baby me or say I couldn't do anything. Actually, the first couple of times I sparred him, I didn't know because I was a wrestler, and when you wrestle hard. So I was like just winging punches like a madman at him when I first, you know, didn't really know what I was doing, and he just hit me with a body shot real hard. So I definitely didn't get babied or anything like that. You know, I would never spared any treatment or given any special treatment. So.
Yeah, so you went right into the deep water right away. That's good. And you continue to train at the Fighting Arts Academy in Springfield, Massachusetts. What is it about that camp specifically that keeps you staying there and also drives your success?
So, well, the thing about it is that first off, my head coach Jeremy Levashevsky, who runs Fighting Arts Academy, is just a great guy. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to have a good chemistry with your coach. And we get along great. We're both different people, but you know, he lets me stay at his house. I'm like a member of his family, and most importantly, he's a very good coach that cares. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's good to have someone like that in your corner. Someone as well rounded as him. He can grapple, he can wrestle, he can strike, and he comes up with these game plans for me, and I just listen to him, and it works. And you know, he just wants me to be the best martial artist that I can be, and you know, he's the man behind the charge, and he doesn't care if I go and train other places sometimes or anything like that. But he's just a phenomenal coach, along with a boxing coach there, Scott Labrie, and you know, it's just a good fit for me. And I love the attention that I get and the quality training partners that I have.
Excellent. Well, what was that feeling that you had in your stomach when you were going out for that first fight? You know, were you a basket of nerves as some guys are, or were you confident in your abilities that no matter what you were going to see in that fight, you were going to be able to handle it?
First fight ever, or first fight in XFC?
First fight ever.
Oh, geez, I was really nervous. To tell you the truth, I started off as an amateur, so I wasn't nearly as good as I am today. But you know, fighting amateur is about learning, and I went out there and I lost my first amateur fight by decision. And after that happened, I was like, wow, I just lost a fight in front of all these people, and I was like, it's honestly not that bad. So from now on, I'm gonna fight with nothing to lose, and you know, I'm just going to lay it all out on the line because I kind of held back because I was nervous a little bit, and I paid for it.
Yeah, so did that really kind of, in a way, help you define your fighting style? Because you're undefeated as a pro, and you've got all these stoppage victories. So clearly what I'm hearing from you is that you learned that first night not to leave anything behind.
Yeah, to really just give it my all. And then after that, they asked me if I wanted like an easy fight. I said no, I want to fight the best amateurs around, and I beat two of the best guys around in the first round, and I went pro, and it's been great ever since.
Excellent. I read that it was difficult actually for you to find opponents when you're first starting out. Is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely. It was really hard because everyone wants to act like they're tough guys and fighters and say they're not scared to fight anyone and they want to do this. But when it comes to someone that's actually, you want to say you're the best, but someone that's actually going to beat you, and you try to stay away from them,
Yeah. Do you think that maybe the fact that you do have the one arm had something to do with it? Because
they probably were going to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one wants to lose to a guy with one arm in an ass-kicking contest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be one leg. That's the statement, right? Is that what you're going for?
Right. It was a little bit of a play there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but have you found that it's gone easier to find opponents that are willing to fight you as you've continued to become more and more successful?
Yeah. XFC does a great job, man. They fly people in, and they go out and they find the toughest fighters, and I get to fight them. So it's a good situation I got myself in there.
Yeah. And you are now, of course, the XFC lightweight champion, submitting Bellator veteran Eric Reynolds in the first round to claim the gold. How great a feeling was it when they put that title around your waist?
Oh, it was great, man. I love the XFC, and I love fighting for them, and it was just really cool to win that. It was like getting a little cherry on top of your ice cream sundae,
Excellent. And you've become kind of an internet sensation. Your video blogs and the videos of your fights have gone viral. Has it been an adjustment for you to become as recognized as you are?
I just like to fight and just compete, and that's what drives me, and it's cool that I get all the attention. I really enjoy that too, but it hasn't really changed me as a person or anything outside of my life or other than more people know who I am, and a lot more people know what I'm up to.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear that you're staying grounded. What's next for Nick Newell? I mean, where do you see yourself in a year's time, let's say?
If you ask me in December of 2011 if I would be the XFC world champion in 2012, my answer would have been I wouldn't put it past me. So anything is possible.
All right, have you considered going in the direction of trying out for Ultimate Fighter or something like that? The show that gets you into the sport could be the one that gets you noticed by the UFC. That's a great story.
Yeah, I know. I've tried out in the past, but it was back when my record was 4-0, and it'd be great to be on the show.
Well, it'd be great to see you, and it's been great talking to you, Nick, and I wish you all the continued success in your career. One last question for you. It's something that we ask everyone that comes on the program. If you had the opportunity, you get to punch one person from any walk of life right in the face, who would it be?
That's a tough one, man. Dead or alive?
Either one. It could be someone from the past, could be someone alive today, from politics, entertainment, an annoying neighbor, someone that cuts you off in traffic. Who's bothering Notorious Nick Newell right now?
No one's bothering me, man. I'm too nice. I don't like to just punch people.
All right, well, there you go. Nick Newell, too nice to hit anyone without provocation. Nick, thanks again for appearing on the program. It's just been an absolute blast, and I hope we can do this again sometime. If you have any thank yous or shout outs or anything else that you want to get off your chest, this is your time, my friend.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Fighting Arts Academy, obviously, Ultimate MMA, FitCon, Strength Training and Massage Therapy, American Top Team, C3 Athletics, I'm a Beast Apparel, Killcliff, Sports Recovery Drink, Orange Ale House, Napoli Deli, On Time Screen Printing and Embroidery. I have a great team of sponsors and people that support me, as well as the Lucky Fin Project, which is like a great charity for kids with limb differences, and I got a good people having my back.
Clearly you do, and they'll continue to have your back in the future. All the continued success in the world. Nick Newell here on In the Cage with Bards on Nextsportstar.com, and we'll be back with more MMA action right after this.